Good morning, my name is Faith Bautista and this is Owning a Piece of America. The travel and immigration laws under the new administration are creating lots of outspoken voices here in California. My guests today are Pastor Carlos Rincon and Pastor Martin Garcia of COPALA, the Coalition of Latino Pastors. Welcome, pastors.
Thank you for inviting us.
So, Pastor Martin, what's COPALA stands for?
COPALA stands for, in Spanish, is Coalición de Pastores Latinos, but in English we can say Coalition of Latino Pastors. And we are an organization that has about 100 churches involved with us. And
these are 100 pastors in Southern California?
Yes, Southern California.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Exactly. And we are focusing currently a lot in the immigration issue. But COPALA is an organization that we are planning to get involved in some other areas such as economic development, community development, education.
Why did you start COPALA?
Why? Because we saw the need in our community to organize, especially the faith community, the pastors, the churches, and to collaborate and work together. And at the beginning, what made us start COPALA was a lot of uncertainty about the immigration issues that we were facing in the last year. And that's why we decided to start it, and we saw a big response from the churches.
So it's a newly formed organization, but you've been around.
Yes.
Well,
especially Martin has been around for a long time.
Right. So, Pastor, so what do you see the need of the Latino community in Los Angeles area?
Well, there are lots of needs depending what angle you want to.
So let's talk about the economic development.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the need in economic development?
Well, one of the interesting things is that the Latino community is very. It has a lot of entrepreneurship. There's a lot of desire of having your own business. So there's a lot of creativity from the person who sells fruit on the streets to the person that develops a corporation. So that's that reality. However, the approach to the banks or to the funders is the hardest part, to get the funding and to get also the education on how to develop a business in a very organized way. So there's a need a lot of education,
yes.
But also there's also the other reality, the reality of people who are low income and they want to advance, so they need some sources of resources and that they can have access to education, to training, to trading and all that.
Unfortunately, Pastor, even on the SBA loans, on the home ownership, Latino community is below standard. And I don't know why. Having so many Latinos, I mean, Southern California especially, I would say you are 50% population already in California. What do you really advise from the Latinos out there? I believe in power of numbers, right? Mm-hmm. What should be they doing? And that way you can elevate the Latino community.
Yes, that's why we formed this coalition, because we want to be that voice and also to be like the door so they can have access, like education, like Pastor Martin was saying, and also access to capital. That's why we started collaborating with NNAC, because we saw as an NNAC a partner that we can trust and we can work with, since you have a lot of experience doing that. And one of the needs that I see in the Latino community is the information. There's a lot of passion. American dream is defined for us, having my own business, my own home, my own business. That's what you talk a lot among Latinos. But the know-how and the access to capital, those two things for me is the biggest obstacle right now.
So do you think, this is bipartisan show, right? I'm not endorsing anybody. And one of the candidates is Antonio Villagrosa. Will that be a good help, or not just in the government? Will it be helpful when there's a Latino in the government officials in the board of directors. Will that help? Do you see that they're really helping the underserved Latino community?
Well, I think the trust in another Latino is high in our community. However, I think more than a candidate, more than a person, it's the access, what Pastor Rincon was saying, and then the knowledge of the information, because there are a lot of people who qualify to buy a house, but they don't know how. And they don't trust anyone. So that's why the churches are so important, because people trust us. So that's why we can become a very good source of information for the community. Teach them how to get their credit reports online, and teach them how to access all that.
Very good, yeah.
All the financial education.
And because the language difference too.
Something
So
like
in 30 seconds, Pastor Carlos Rincon, what will COPALA really do for the people, and how can they reach out to you?
How can they reach to us? Well, we have a Facebook page. It is Facebook COPALA. And also we have a telephone number they can call us. The number is 626-320-3843. And right now, like Pastor Martin was saying, our main focus right now is about immigration issues. If they need advice.
So we'll talk about that later when we come back. So let me pause you right there, Pastor. We'll be back to discuss more of this after a quick break.
I'm God's children, we got to come together and share the good feeling. 'Cause nothing ever gonna make this world better if we don't start believing that love really, really, really is the answer. Everybody join hands, 'cause it's time now. Spread the love all over the world. Spread it all over the world. If we just love each other, and lift up one another, shine a light from every heart. Now. We got to spread the love all over the world. We've got to spread the love.
Hello again. We're talking to the pastors about the current immigration issues and what their coalition is doing to their local Latino community. But before we proceed, NAAC is always here to help people that are underserved, that has no voices. And this is why we get experts like Pastor Carlos Rincon and Pastor Martin to really go out there and help the people. So, pastors, let's talk about the immigration. What do you see happening out there right now?
There's a lot of fear. Sometimes because also, again, lack of information, lack of understanding of the system in the United States, the immigration system, and lack of resources, understanding the resources that the community has accessible. So there's a lot of fear to the unknown. They don't know if there are even U.S. citizens who are afraid, that are carrying their citizenship certificate, the ones who have become citizens, with them, which is very risky, because if they lost it, it's very hard to get it back. So there's a lot of fear in that sense, that they are going to stop me. And then there's a lot of false rumors around, like if they see a checkpoint somewhere, they are there's immigration. And it's not. I mean, in reality, they are not doing any checkpoints.
So there's like no more freedom anymore, right? I know, Pastor Carlos Rincon, you're talking to me about some of the pastors that are being deported. Could you just share one example of what's happening?
Yes. Right now, we are working in the case of the pastor Noé Carillas. He was detained about close to 2 months ago, Martin?
Yes.
Yeah, about 2 months ago. Before, he was, presenting himself every year, checking with immigration officials. But right now, since a lot of the policies has been changed, he was detained. And right now, he's in Adelanto. It's a private jail run by a private corporation. And he's detained because when he was a teenager, he entered illegally the country. but he hasn't committed any crime or anything. He's not. He has no criminal record, and he's married to an American-born wife, and he has 2 children. We've been
So
working.
despite of that, being married to American citizen and have
Yes.
children, he's still being deported. But I'm sure he applied already for his immigration status, correct?
He has been trying to do it, but since he has that record that he came illegally and he was detained, he has another deportation from 25 years ago.
Yes.
That's the thing that is stopping him, for getting his documents in order.
Yeah, so to me, it's really unfair, and like you said, immigration is a very complex issue. It's so outdated for someone like pastor who has been good citizen
Yes.
and raised a family, and all of a sudden being deported. What that's not going to help the country. That's not going to help his family. In fact, it's going to get worse. So, hopefully your coalition, the COPALA, can really gather around, have a vigil around that area and let him go. What does he have to do if he has to pay penalty, if he has to pay fee? Or if he leaves, what would be the assurance that he can come back right away?
Yeah, and it's very hard because he can go and he will be penalized for up to 10 years. Obviously he can ask for a pardon, but it's going to take months or even years to get that approved. In the meantime, the family will be suffering. They just purchased a house, and he was the main source of income for that family. The only source of income. And not only that, he had a business. So the business is going to the drains because he's not there to take care of the business. He has a construction kind of business.
If President Trump, or not just even the president, because it's local, right, that are making this decision, I don't think even the president knows what's really happening on that. What will you ask them? If you can look at the audience right now and look at these officers, what will you tell them?
I will ask him to think about that they're dividing a family. Think of the children. They don't have a father right now. They're, I know personally the family. I know the situation. The wife has telling me, my kids go to sleep crying for the father.
Of course, for the father, yes.
So just to think in that level, the human level, they're dividing, separating a family, destroying a family. Think about that. He's not a criminal. He has no criminal record. He was paying taxes. He was doing construction. He has his own business. He was pastoring a church, helping hundreds of people. He was a spiritual leader in our community, and they're destroying this family.
So I think my also advice along with that is asking the politicians that we elected to sit down with the immigration services, and let's have a balance. I believe all these people that are staying here illegally are not really bad, and I know we help them, and we talk about this, that the farm workers, we're going to be out of them. Construction, that's why the cost of building a house is so expensive, because we don't have those people anymore, the unintended consequences. So I'm asking if we can gather together. I'm really with the blessings of the Lord, that they bless COPALA, they bless leaders like you to lead the way for the people that have no voices. So unfortunately, we're running out of time, and this is really dear to my heart. I came here as an immigrant, so it's so fast, and the petition is so long. So we would like to check in with you again down the road to see how the right process are. And we really do thank the pastors for coming today to tell us all about your efforts and hard work to help the families to stay together in America. And thank you for watching Owning a Piece of America. Don't go away. Coming up, NAAC's Lifestyle segment.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but because how you feel about yourself defines how the world sees you. It is extremely important that you feel confident about how you look all the time. There are times we look in the mirror and the reflection we see is of someone who could and should better take care of themselves. Not because we have to look attractive for others, but because we deserve to feel good about ourselves. Lucky for us, two of the most brilliant minds in dermatology are with us today to help us make a beholder out of anyone whose eyes gaze upon us. She's a summa cum laude graduate of University of California, San Diego, with BS honors with distinction in biochemistry and cell biology, and completed her medical degree at Stanford University, where she met her husband. He graduated cum laude with BS in molecular biophysics and biochemistry at Yale University, and completed his medical degree from Stanford University, where he met his wife. Well, goes without saying that 1 + 1 is equals to two brilliant minds, doesn't it? Multi-awarded doctors Dr. Tess Mauricio and Dr. James Lee, owners of M Beauty Clinics in San Diego and Beverly Hills, are joining us today for a beautiful discussion about the art and science of beauty. You're watching Owning a Piece of America. My name is Faith Bautista. But Dr. Tess and Dr. James,
Wow.
my gosh, thank you for being our guest today.
Well, thank you for having us. We're so excited, and congratulations, owning a piece of America. It's amazing.
And you guys own a lot of piece of America. So let's start about, the immigration, because Dr. Tess, I've known you since you were just an employee in San Diego and still not living in this big fancy house. Please take over and tell the audience about how this immigration came along, and from Tess Mauricio to Dr. Tess Mauricio.
Oh, well, my whole family moved from the Philippines in 1984. I'm the oldest of 4 kids. I was 12 years old. And as with any immigrant family, my parents both had to work, and I had to be really the caretaker of my siblings. And we had our ups and downs. My dad had a lot of health issues. And, we bought a home, lost the home when my dad got sick. He had a heart attack, and then he had a bad back. And, being the oldest, really, I was really, really focused.
How many are you in the family?
4. I'm the oldest of 4, and it's Rick, Cheryl, and Angela, and me. And we're all still together. We all still work at M Beauty together. And I think it's because we really went through a lot together. And, my parents really instilled in us that, whatever situation we're in, it's a temporary situation. And like I said, health problems, financial problems, loss of our home together. And, as the oldest, I was always focused on trying to help the family, doing my best. And I was lucky because, I could get scholarships. I got scholarships at UCSD and then to Stanford, because my parents wouldn't have been able to afford it. And that's what's amazing about living in America. If you have the ability, you do have means to get a quality education, even if your parents aren't rich.
Right.
And so I was able to do that, and ended up at Stanford. My mom said, you have to go to Stanford. I didn't want to leave my family. I was so close to my siblings and my parents. I didn't want to leave. UCSD also offered me a free ride. But, I guess it was destiny, because at Stanford I met James.
So let's go
It was
now.
my luck.
Let's go now to the Korean family.
Yes.
Dr. Lee,
Yes.
How did you become so successful, and how did it all happen in your family?
Well, first of all, thank you for having us here on your show. This is really impressive. I got to congratulate you on your success. But our success was really hard work, just like Dr. Tess is saying. Tess, you know, it just you get opportunities when you put yourself nose to the grindstone and just do it. My parents were both physicians. They were immigrants from Korea, and of course, the Korean work ethic and for them being physicians, they instilled upon us. I have 3 brothers, so the 4 of us, we're all pretty close in age, all within, I think, 5 or 6 years of each other. They instilled in us a very, very, very disciplined work ethic, and it became a part of us, and it just almost, well, I made it fun. I made it part of me, and I just wanted to be the best I can. That's all it was.
We have a lot of viewers that immigrants. I mean, this is Southern California, right?
Yes.
Can you give advice for those that just even got here and the struggles that they have? Give them advice. How can a little person like Tess Mauricio become Dr. Tess Mauricio? I mean, really that, because you are a mainstream doctor.
Thank you. I think it is hard work. It is, you know, being strong. The core has to be strong. And I'm very lucky because my family is always there. And you have to be ready for a fight. And we talk about this a lot, Faith, that, you know, don't expect it to be an easy ride, but you have to continue to believe in yourself.
Yeah, don't listen to anyone else.
Yes.
Don't listen to anyone else. You have to believe you deserve it, because you do.
Right.
You just have to work at it. And you have to look at the right buttons to press, right? You look around, you know the right answer. Everyone around you is saying the right things to do, and you have to make the right decisions.
So hang on to that. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be right back. This is a success story from, I would say, from Dr. Tess, from nothing to something. We'll be right back.
Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one.
Welcome back to Owning a Piece of America. America's favorite dermatologist. Dr. Tess, please tell the whole audience all about you.
Well, you know, I feel very blessed. You know, a Filipina is America's favorite dermatologist. And thinking back in 1984, starting out, it's really, I truly believe that whatever you put your mind to, you can achieve it. But you have to be ready for hard work. You have to be ready to just keep on going. And, you know, when I go and I lecture to, in like a world stage, or being on Dr. Oz or The Talk, the doctors, it's like, I'm a Filipina, but, you know, I love that I'm representing the beauty, the heart, and the brains of Filipinos. And so I think if there's anything I can say out there is that if you have a dream, go for it.
So all the things that they're saying, you're Filipina, you have an accent, you're short, you're an immigrant, those are nonsense, right?
Well, I mean, you have to show them that, you know, you're the best, you deserve the spot. And the great thing about America is that there are those opportunities. And if they really believe that you can do it, you will get it. But it takes hard work.
That's right. Dr. Lee?
Well, we were talking earlier about, you know, what it takes. And anyone can do it. Anyone can do it. And it just takes a couple steps. Preparation, which equals success, which equals fun. I mean, you have fun and you enjoy it when you succeed. And the only way to succeed is if you prepare. And the only way to do that is to just start. And so, easy steps to succeed at anything. That applies to every aspect of your life. Apply that framework to every part of your life, and every part gets better.
And of course, prayers.
Oh,
family,
absolutely.
right?
Prayers, family, and keep the people around you close because you will need it along the way. And we both know it. We have very amazing, supportive families, and that's really a key to our success.
I know. And now we're going to talk about Venus freeze.
Yes.
We're so blessed that Dr. Tess will talk about how you can really freeze your beauty.
Right.
So Dr. Tess, go for it.
This is fun. I'm going to be 47 this year. People always ask, what's your secret? This is one of my favorite. Venus freeze treatment is also one of the Hollywood stars' favorite before they go on the red carpet. This video shows Marla Maples, and she loves it. It's natural, and it gives you instant tightening, plumping, improvement of lines, shaping of the face, trimming of the face. So, she can look amazing on camera without downtime, and it's all natural.
Talk more about it. I mean, who gets this? Is it expensive?
It's really not expensive. It's really inexpensive. It's easy. There's no downtime. It's painless. These are amazing radio frequency technology we offer. I love it. It also helps me, maintain how I look. Again, I'm pushing 50, and I'm proud of it. If you look good, we're proud of it.
That's right. So a lot of people, oh no, I want to look natural, but I mean, give advice for those people, women especially,
Yes.
who wants to do it, but just like they feel like,
The natural, okay, I have to talk about natural because I refused, when we first met, because I knew she was going into cosmetic dermatology, I told her, I said, I do not want you to look unnatural, ever. I will, when I say no, you have to stop. So far, everything she's picked, everything she's done, all natural looking, she doesn't want the synthetic look, right? So she strives for it, and she is the epitome of it. I mean, look at her.
Well,
I am a very lucky man.
Thanks. Well, speaking of natural, I mean, our most popular treatment is our time machine procedure. This is a natural way to turn back all of the signs of aging. If you're, having issues around your eyes, if you have wrinkles, if you have drooping, sagging, and it's a natural way because we're activating our own ability to heal and regenerate new collagen, new tissue. And so this is, again, we do this, probably once a year. And a lot of stars do this because they don't want to look different. They just want to look like a younger version of themselves.
and there's really nothing wrong with it, right? I mean, there's, the side effect and all those things.
No, I mean, if you have to go to an expert, especially when you have, ethnic skin, but it's really amazing because like you mentioned in the beginning, how you look really affects how you feel and how the world responds to you. And when you look young, you feel happier, you have so much more confidence, you really kind of project a more positive version of yourself. And that's what it's about.
And this is what I tell people. If you can do it, not necessarily you have money, it is already your fault if you're ugly.
Yes.
Because with all the
Technology.
medicine, the technology,
Yep.
and
Yep.
all the doctor tests, so anyway, beauty can never be judged objectively by others. However, people notice confidence when they see one. At the end of the day, we are the most objective critic of ourselves. We exude confidence if we feel attractive. And studies have shown that this higher self-confidence, a direct result of good looks, could be a roadmap to success. Just remember, good looks may be able to give us an extra push, but it's not all that we need to take us to where we want to be in life. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and your beauty beholder is you. This has been Owning a Piece of America. I am Faith Bautista.